Corresponds for 2
Before
credits.
we get started,
I thought we were started.
I know, but I need to figure.
You need to stop messing with my audio.
I need to figure this out, or I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, you need to stop messing with my audio in the middle of a podcast. Welcome to another episode of the American Beer Review Podcast.
Good times with good friends requires good beer. Lucky for us, we know how to pick all three.
We're a group of friends who grew up in the Pacific Northwest, giving us a jump start on our craft beer journey.
Join us today while Brian... I pride myself on not getting to know other people, so do not put that on me.
Alec.
So the bananas up until like the 60s were an entirely different species of banana.
And Chad. It hit me like a wrecking ball.
Review some beer, talk about beer topics, and whatever else comes up. We invite you to pour yourself a drink and hang out with us.
Are we good now?
Your guys' ears are good?
I
Fine.
feel fine.
I love it.
Cool. Just looking at you.
Let's do it.
All right.
Those guys were smart. They were handing out stickers.
Yeah, the one. And to plan it again, we should have brought stickers. We should remake stickers. And we could have plastered all sorts of stuff
Everything.
with ABR
Or
stickers.
or koozies. Or coasters.
Oh,
Yeah, Thor picked up, I think, all of these coasters, right?
Yeah. 'cause they're all from
anyone
them.
that had a sticker or a coaster I picked up, and those two stickers were from there. So as I get
yeah.
stickers, they're going on the travel.
Do you
cooler.
understand how many coasters
Oh, I've seen it.
and stickers I have in my house? We've talked about making basically this entire table we're sitting at. I could
Covered in coasters.
easily cover it in coasters.
But
Oh.
speaking about enough about beer coasters, how about
An actual beer.
Yeah.
So, cracked beer, we are passing them around. So, this is another one from OEC Brewing, the Ordinum Eccentrici Coctores, which we looked up.
Nailed it.
That's what we looked up last time. So, the Order of Eccentric Brewers, and then you said they messed up their Latin. I did do a little bit.
They knew it was not.
So, it should be Ordinum Coctores Eccentrici.
Because isn't it what it says technically?
The modifiers afterwards.
But isn't it technically like the eccentric boilers?
It is.
technically
Yeah,
what it
The
is.
translation on that is fine. So that wasn't the issue. It's the ordering of the words.
No.
As it should be
Indubitably.
OCE if it was in correct Latin. But nobody reads things that way and it confused people. So that's the way they did it. This is their summertime lager.
And we're following this up after sampling their Czech dark lager.
A couple months ago.
Yeah, a while ago. And this is for full disclosure, we're recording this as like a kind of a filler episode. So this
In
might
case
be,
it comes out of order.
so if this is plugged and played and kind of sounds out of place, whenever this drops, that is the reason.
Yeah, it's a cool ship, open fermented, which is
Oh.
interesting. Yeah. And then at 4.2, so it kind of continues our trend
lately of being old and drinking
lighter beers. Our summertime lager is brewed with authentic Czech Pilsner and Kara Pils malts and is hopped exclusively using German Hirschbrucker hops for a delightfully crisp and refreshing finish. It undergoes a cool open fermentation for 9 days using the classic lager yeast and is cellared cold for several months prior to packaging.
It's a lot.
This is-
Putting a lot of work and energy into it.
You guys give this a sniff and tell me if this is unique on a lager.
I smelled it a little bit.
No, but after you said how they
The open
brew it, yeah,
fermentation.
it doesn't surprise me, but
Yeah,
this is very unique.
that it's almost like a very slight funk.
Oh, I was going to say a little slight sour.
Yeah, but in the aroma,
In
I
the
haven't
aroma.
tasted it yet.
Yeah, if you're a farmhouse style saison
Yeah.
person, you're going to recognize the aroma.
But that's going to be your open fermentation.
Yep.
Mhm.
Just kind of letting whatever kind of happens happen.
Whatever
That
yeasts
carry-
are out there,
Carries a little bit into the flavor too.
Yeah,
A saison-y.
but there's
but
a back,
like super.
but there's a-
Super
subtle.
light. Super, yeah.
but there's a backbone of what they intended the flavor to be.
Mhm.
Because you have to, obviously, if you're doing open fermentation, you open yourself up to whatever flavors are out
Yeah.
there in the wild.
Well,
Yeah.
I always wonder when you talk about like when they do like an open fermentation like that, what's your like, I don't know, hoped sustainability, like repeatability
Right.
of it? Like, and maybe the idea is that you're openly fermenting it in the same space, so you're generally going to get the same things. Sorry, the loud snoring and stuff is Odin under the table just settling in. So the
That's
dog.
a content dog.
Yeah. But like I do wonder about like, you know, I mean, there has to be some if you're gonna open ferment something, there is the possibility something is going to be different. I anticipate if you're in the same space, it's not gonna be that different though.
Well, and how open is your open
yeah.
fermentation?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not a closed system, but is it covered? It just doesn't have.
Yeah.
Are you open? Are you?
Because
is there
I mean, open.
grating over it? Is there mesh over it?
Yeah. Because like a traditional size, it's like on the roof, open
Yeah.
fermented.
Yeah.
Like it's open to everything. Versus my guess is they're a little bit more controlled.
There was somebody, I can't remember who it was that was a brewery from Tacoma that talked about like literally almost like driving around Tacoma and trying to like determine what potential like
Yeast there are.
wild yeast is in the air that they could figure it out. And it was like one of the places they found was the best was like a kind of bougie dead end street that was like they probably would not have been fans of us just trying to figure out how to like stay
Harvest
there and
yeast.
harvest yeast from their like private-ish street or something. So
There was some goofy stuff when I was in my peak of home brewing where I would brew the same beer multiple times, but have it ferment in different spots in the house because your homebrew system is not infallible because I was still in the plastic buckets.
So you had your
Right.
own home funk that you were trying to collect in different areas
You were trying to see where the home funk was the worst.
to avoid that
And
space.
literally, I found the best spot was on a counter in a bathroom where I got the least
That seems
different. It was so
seems counterintuitive.
It was so
You got the exhaust fan
entirely
going.
That's true. It's like kind of cycling a little bit more potentially.
way more airflow than
Then a closet.
a closet.
Well, and when you're dealing with 5 gallons, a lot of it too, because you were a
Yeah.
sealed system. You
Yeah.
weren't open fermenting. Is it's consistent temperatures? Although that would be way off in the bathroom,
seems
unless it was an unused bathroom.
I wondered recently about I think we let stuff sit too long.
Oh yeah,
Like
it was just getting to it, and the person whose house we were using, didn't have
but
any
like
interest in
we
checking
would
on it.
Because they said like we're open fermenting for 9 days, and we were like locking ourselves into we're going for 2 weeks.
like minimum. Like we were talking like we were letting
It
stuff
takes
go
no
for
time now.
Yeah, we were letting stuff go for like a month or more.
Well, we weren't seeing the sugar
The
conversion.
drop off.
Well, no, we weren't seeing the sugar conversion
Oh,
that we needed to. That we were producing super light
I wonder what
beers.
we were
Because
definitely
we're-
doing something
We were
wrong.
giving
Well,
it longer
because-
to
Yeah.
try and work.
Looking at it now is because we were
doing no
obviously
science.
we were obviously cheap.
Oh,
But
yeah.
nowadays everything is you're going to do a yeast starter and you're going to make like
That's the
like
problem.
you're going to
Just
make a
was
half,
that extra.
but you make it and you just have all that extra yeast going in right away. So bam, the fermentation started. It's vigorous.
I
to
wonder how
start
much
with,
is also
and
that.
you're done in a week.
That we weren't.
You're done in a
we
week
were
to 9 days.
waiting too long to even like pop the packet or do something, like not letting even in the packet letting it kind of like charge itself.
Instead of for like an hour or two while we were working on it.
Yeah,
doing it,
that
the
we
day
were doing it.
before.
It was it was probably just a culmination of a bunch of little things we were doing not
Yeah.
different, but
I think what I need to do is
but the science and the technology available now is so much better and easier to brew consistently.
Still doesn't solve the. All right, boils on. Let's go hit the
Yeah.
lake.
But you still need to put the time into it,
Yeah.
and realistically, our time's better spent drinking and reviewing beer.
I think what I need to do is go buy a whole set of stuff for like a gallon batch.
a gallon batch kit
only
was
do
perfect. I could do two. You can do 2 1-gallons in an afternoon.
We enjoyed it,
afternoon.
but I think the fact that we were getting into like 10 gallons almost,
It's expensive.
it's expensive. We
And when it doesn't turn out, it's even
God.
more
More expensive.
heartbreaking.
and even when it was good, we just like
weren't going to drink that much of it.
no, we couldn't go through that much. So, that's my next thing. The can is very fun for this guy. Bottom half is kind of like a
It's very Oktoberfesty.
yeah.
So I was going to say the last one was a Czech dark lager.
Yep.
Mhm.
And this one is a Czech-Style.
Did they say that?
I read it on the can.
Okay.
So I'm
Oh,
wondering
yeah.
what their heritage.
Czech Pilsner.
Yeah.
That's just the malt. It's just a Czech Pilsner malt.
All right, but it's 2 in a row where it's tying into.
I
Yeah.
wonder
But
if
then
these,
using German hops. So it's not like
They're like close to each other.
I wonder if this was a branch, like you made either one and then let's turn this into a dark,
Dark lager,
lager,
and
or
this
turn
one's an
yeah.
open
Mm.
fermented.
you had mentioned it earlier, but also like it didn't really click with me. And this is also cellared for months.
Yeah.
Like there is a fun, like we said, that kind of like a little bit of funk in the aroma. Maybe just that not like, I'm not saying it's not a clean beer, but there is just a little hint of something
There's a
in
little,
the
there's
flavor.
a little
Yeah.
twist on it.
But it's what makes it. I mean, I know that lagers and using the Czech Pilsner and doing that, it's going to be different than like in a standard American light. But this is the type of beer that gives a little bit more flavor and body, even in a light beer, that makes me enjoy it a little bit more than just a Busch Light, a Miller Lite, or
Yeah.
doing that. Like, there's a little more fun
Character.
to this. Yeah, that like I still struggle with paying craft price for the super light beer.
Yeah.
But you have to realize, like, they literally like cellared it. Like, that's a process that's going to
Yeah.
cost money in doing it. But there is at least more character.
Mhm.
There's more substance in this that I'll be annoyed, but like, I would pay a little more for this over. Like, if you're at an all day drinking thing, I'll go through 3 or 4 of these before finally then maybe the cost wise, I'm like, okay, just give me the slightly cheaper, crappier macro beer type
Right.
thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, entirely.
What it kind of,
This is a nice treat.
it's kind of like paying stadium beer prices.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're going, do you want to have another one? I do.
Yes.
Do I want to spend $8 on it? Not for a Busch Light.
It's cheap for that. I mean,
You know what I
that's-
mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you're going to do well, and that's the problem of like, man, going to like you talk about going to a stadium. You're like, man, if I'm gonna buy something, I'm gonna buy the nice beer that's like
For $1 more.
yeah, $1 or $2
Yeah.
more instead of paying $10 for Busch Light.
Right.
Like, okay, I'll pay 12 or 13 and at least get like one. If I'm having one,
Yeah.
I'm getting that like extra 2%.
Yeah. Well,
of-
there's
of
that.
alcohol, and I'm gonna get some flavor that I'm gonna enjoy this for a while instead of just like I just crushed a $10 beer and now I'm
Yeah. Going back for a second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the bottom of the can is that like Oktoberfest, and then there's just
Checkerboard
like
pattern. Yeah.
yeah, but green instead of blue,
Mhm.
which
Okay.
is interesting, and that could be maybe that's the difference. Maybe blue is Oktoberfesty and this
I've-
is summertime.
I'm not going to do any internet research before I say this.
Yes.
But the hefts that I've had that have had that traditional artwork have had the blue checkerboards.
Yeah, and that's what we've always when we've done
I am.
Oktoberfest stuff. It's usually blue.
This is me talking out of my ass.
Perfect.
Maybe there's some beer rule in Germany because they have beer rules on everything. You can only have the green checkerboard on lagers or the blue checkerboard on hefts.
What I was gonna say.
Somebody can check that out and leave it in the comments.
How about you check it out over in Germany while you're there?
Indeed.
The top of the can is like a sea of sunflowers.
Summertime.
Yeah. Are sunflowers, do they bloom in summertime? Is that a thing?
Sunflowers enjoy the sun, so I'm
Okay.
going to assume.
Well, dude, I don't assume anything.
I have no idea.
Yeah, perfect.
I
Nailed
don't
it.
Plants crave sun. And electrolytes.
I was going to say plants need electrolytes. That's what they crave.
Yeah, I don't keep plants.
No. You put water on plants. No. This has
Toilet
electrolytes.
water?
We are depressingly close to that. We can't joke about that anymore.
Scarily close. All right. For just one or more movie references
That I don't
that
get.
Brian doesn't understand.
I just literally ignore
You
you. and
had
just-
an entirely different childhood than us, is what I'm assuming at this point.
Seems like it.
Just got plopped in front of a TV, baby.
This is a summertime beer fridger,
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Like, I'd be happy with going to my fridge and pulling this instead of
But- But I
Busch
don't.
Light.
yeah.
But this is a summertime treat that I want to savor. Because obviously
You're not going to kill it as fast.
No,
yeah.
but where we're at, we're not going to get this. But if I get this every day, if this was like, if I'm down the street from them, yeah, this is an everyday beer fridge, and this is my lawnmower beer.
Yeah.
But for us out here, every once in a while, treat a fantastic break from a normal lager,
Absolutely.
normal finger quotes lager.
Blue and white checkered are the colors of Bavaria. For
All right.
So green and white as well.
Entirely on brand.
Can't figure that part out.
else.
I made it sound good, but it was
I don't know.
not true.
Chad's gonna have to ask somebody when he's in Germany and figure that one out.
Or just mess it up and look like a dumb American. Well,
So I was already told they don't ask about IPAs over there. I think that's going to be my first question over there
What do you mean? Don't ask about them?
because they don't have them.
Well, yeah.
It's blasphemy to talk about beer apparently that has hops.
No. So Ryan. So in the traditional, see now you done
One of the
something.
original
So-
ingredients.
I
No,
needed to stretch the episode out, folks.
you're wrong. You're wrong. It's not. It's not originally one of them. Hops was added later. They used to use something else before that. So in the original Reinheitsgebot, they didn't have hops. It was water, malt,
Yeast
or maybe it was the yeast that was
added
changed
later.
That's what it was. Is the yeast that I think was added. So it was those three, but they were using like more almost like open fermentation or those
Right.
types of things to do it. So it was hops. So my bad. But to say that you can't just do an IPA, no. But I think the point of them is like they weren't the ones. The IPA comes from overly
Hopping
doing
the
it
beer,
to
yeah.
try and make it last a long journey, and they're like, we made it here, we drink it here, we don't need it that way.
Yeah.
No, and that was entirely how it was told to me. It's like it's not a flavor they're looking for in beer.
It's not a preference.
Well, and
But I'm going to try my damnedest. There's 3 breweries where I'm going. Going to try to find something what we would call crafty.
Yeah, we'll need to
just
do
ask
like
them
a
for their
whole-
Northwest IPA.
Yeah. Do you guys have
They're
a
going
West?
to go Northwest where?
Do you have a hazy?
What about a juicy?
West Coast IPA Bia Bieta.
There is 0 chance. Oh yeah, that's also Chad's been working on his
German.
his Duolingo. I've been seeing the streak.
Indeed.
He's working hard to be able to count how many beers he's had in German.
There you go.
Mein Hund ist klug.
All right.
Oh.
Well, our glasses are empty. Hopefully yours are too. We'll catch you next time. All right.
Okay, now talking to it.
How's that?
Oh my God, that's so much better.
So
work.
that's been
That's
the
why he's
problem.
been yelling at me the entire time.
Oh God.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, we're good.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're gonna.
What did you just call me?
No, it'll work. We're good.
Listen, you Movo.
If you are picking up what we were putting down, please like and subscribe on your podcast platform of choice. And reach out to us at A Beer Review on social media if you have a beer you would like us to review.